Hello everyone. Welcome to the channel. Today, I went on a refreshing bike ride around Songdo with my child. Feel the vibe of riding with us while you run on your treadmill. Alright, let's explore Songdo together. Let's go. To you who give up and step down before 30 minutes, you are running with the wrong map. Are you slowing down right now on the treadmill or the asphalt just because you are out of breath, thinking, should I stop here for today or I can just run more tomorrow? You complain that your life is always stuck in the same place despite living diligently. Yet you compromise and step down, making all kinds of excuses during a single 30-minute race. Let me be blunt with you. If you keep compromising like that and fail to finish the full 30 minutes, you will never be able to climb even a single step up the ladder of wealth or any other ladder in your life. Nick Maggielli, a Stanford economics graduate, Chief Operating Officer, COO, of Ritholtz Wealth Management, a famous Wall Street wealth management firm, and a financial data scientist, throws a shocking reality check at us in his new book, Just Keep Buying, translated as Climb the Ladder of Wealth. If you are financially stagnant, the problem is not your effort, but your strategy. Most of us are currently wandering around with a completely wrong map in the game of life and wealth management. The strategy required for someone with 10,000 won and the strategy required for someone with 100 million won are completely different games. Yet we persist with a single strategy our entire lives, lamenting, why isn't my money growing? Or why are my stamina and life at a standstill? This text will brutally diagnose where you are currently standing and shatter your weak mindset through all the data and laws from the video, explaining why you must run until the very end of those 30 minutes. Open your ears and face your own weakness. 1. Which floor are you on right now? The 6th floor law of running and wealth. Nick Maggielli meticulously analyzed decades of tracking data from the University of Michigan's panel study of income dynamics. He then precisely divided human stages into 6 floors based on net worth, the amount calculated by adding up all bank balances, stocks, real estate, cars, and insurance cancellation refunds, and subtracting all debts such as loans, card bills, student loans, and lease deposits. These 6 floors of wealth correspond with chilling accuracy to the phase-by-phase laws of the 30-minute run you must complete today. The first floor, net worth, 0-1 to under 14 million won. $/right euro dollar, the 0 to 5 minute running interval. The survival stage. Reality. People live paycheck to paycheck. This is a miserable stage where survival is immediately threatened if income stops for even a single month. Application to running. This is the point where you have just tied your shoelaces and started running for less than 5 minutes. Your body is stiff, your heart feels like it's bursting, and all kinds of negative survival instincts and excuses churn in your head. Should I just go home? My condition is the worst today. The 2nd floor approximate 14 million won to 140 million won. $/right euro dollar, the 5 to 10 minute running interval. The grocery freedom stage. Reality. This is the stage where a minimum amount of freedom arises, allowing you to buy organic eggs instead of regular eggs at the grocery store without worrying about the price. Application to running. This is the interval where your breathing finally stabilizes a bit, giving you the illusion of, oh, I can actually run this. However, it remains a fragile stage where you can easily collapse at the slightest temptation, a YouTube or Kakao Talk notification, or a subtle stiffness in your ankle. The 3rd floor, 140 million won to 1.4 billion won. $/right euro dollar, the 10 to 20 minute running interval. The dining out freedom stage. Reality. You can choose what you want to eat at a restaurant without looking at the price tag on the right side of the menu first. This is the floor that many workers and self-employed people in Korea desperately want to reach. And it is also the floor where the majority of people remain stuck between the second and third floors. Application to running. Sweat pours like rain, and your legs begin to feel heavy. This is when the most dangerous thought creeps in. I've already been running for 15 minutes today. Isn't this at least average? Let's run more tomorrow. It is an interval of powerful temptation to justify yourself and stop. The fourth floor, 1.4 billion won to 14 billion won. $/ error dollar. The 20 to 25 minute running interval. The travel freedom stage. Reality. When flying, you decide whether to take business class or economy class based solely on your mood and condition, not the price. This is the realm of those who have completely broken through the limitations of ordinary labor. Application to running. This is where the real race begins. ***, the moment you pass 20 minutes, your willpower completely takes over your physical pain. This is the interval where your cells awaken anew, and all the impurities and stress in your brain burn away. The fifth floor, 14 billion won to 140 billion won. $/ error dollar. The 25 to 30 minute running interval. The housing freedom stage. Reality. You never have to give up on the house you want in the city you want solely because of the price. Application to running. Moving beyond the stage of being out of breath. This is the interval where your body and mind become one, experiencing a euphoric state of total immersion, runner's high. A powerful subconscious realization that you are breaking your own limits with your own hands becomes engraved in your brain. The sixth floor, 140 billion won or more. $/ error dollar life. After completing the 30-minute run, the influence freedom stage. Reality. You can create your own private charitable foundation or acquire huge corporations to exert a profound influence on the world. Application to running. This is the moment you stubbornly finish your 30-minute run and step down proudly from the treadmill. The sense of accomplishment you gain at this time transforms into a formidable energy that dominates your entire day and furthermore, your entire life.
손등 타면 안 되는데 큰일 났네 이거.
Let me tell you a brutal truth from the data analyzed by Nick Maggielli. Looking at the 20-year tracking data from the University of Michigan, only 32% of people managed to climb just one step up this ladder during that long period. Only a mere 5% climbed 2 steps. Even after dedicating nearly half of their golden years to life, 7 out of 10 people stand still in the exact same place they started and rot away. Why is that? Is it because they are lazy? No. It is because they held the wrong map and compromised, stopping every single time at the 3rd floor interval, 15 to 20 minutes, because it was hard. 2. Save and be frugal. Frugality will never save you. What is the first rule of money we learn when we are born? Be frugal and save. If you cut back on one latte, you'll become rich. Save every single penny and open a savings account. Nick Maggielli completely shatters and debunks this stereotype using hard data. When he thoroughly combed through the household expenditure data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, a shocking fact was revealed. Looking at the spending details of the bottom 20% of households, they were already spending more than 100% of their income on essential necessities such as rent, food, transportation, and communication. Things that cost money just by breathing. Telling people who are barely surviving month to month by taking on debt that they should cut back on coffee or be frugal is just as cruel and stupid as shouting to a drowning person gasping for air. You should have learned how to swim in the first place. Therefore, the author declares flatly, for people on the 1st and 2nd floors of the wealth ladder, the most important thing is not frugality, but overwhelmingly increasing their income. Frugality has a floor. No matter how much you squeeze and starve, you cannot reduce it below 0.1. However, there is no ceiling on income. Look at your running. Are you running as if you are pinching pennies and being frugal, thinking, I need to save energy today, so let's just run slowly for 10 minutes. Or I need to protect my body, so let's stop here? With such a weak mindset, you can never go to the next stage. What you need right now is not frugality to save your pace, but the increase of income to explosively expand your limit capacity by filling up the 30 minutes until the very end. 3. 2 fatal laws that change the game of life. There are 2 laws you must hammer into your brain while running those 30 minutes and while managing your life. The 1% rule. Put a price tag on your time. Look back at your day today. How much of the time you spent was dedicated to productive work that could increase your net worth or your life's caliber by even just 1%? Nick Maggielli presents the 1% rule. Never spend time on anything that has no potential to increase your net worth by 1% right now. For example, there is a person with a net worth of 100 million won. 1% for this person is 1 million won. In that case, does it make sense for this person to spend hours digging through online shopping malls to consume energy just to find a detergent that is 500 won or 1,000 won cheaper? Absolutely not. That is a waste of time and an act of idiocy. Using that time to enhance the capabilities of your main business or to design a wealth revenue structure is the real action to move to the next step of the ladder. Conversely, for someone with a net worth of 5 million won, 1% is 50,000 won. So frugality to save 50,000 won becomes a real strategy. In other words, depending on the floor you are standing on, the exact same action can be a brilliant strategy or a life-consuming waste of time. What are you doing on the treadmill? Are you wastefully consuming your precious 30 minutes like garbage by blankly staring at celebrity gossip or scrolling through shopping malls? Fill the value of those 30 minutes with time to establish fierce ideas and a mindset that will grow your life by more than 1%. The 0.01% law, the secret of spending that the rich never tell you. This is a chilling perspective proposed by the author. Multiply your net worth by 0.01%. That amount is the maximum amount of money you can spend comfortably in a single day without any guilt. A person with a net worth of 100 million won can freely spend exactly 10,000 won a day. A person with a net worth of 1 billion won can spend 100,000 won a day. The reason this law is great is because it is a completely new paradigm to align your spending not with the monthly salary coming in, but with the net worth you have accumulated. Amateurs rashly raise their living standards as soon as their salary increases slightly. changing to a foreign car, buying luxury goods, and moving to a more expensive neighborhood. What is the result? Their income increased, but their net worth remains stagnant or even becomes negative. This is the very hidden secret of car poor and house poor people who receive a 100 million won annual salary but have not a single penny in their bank account and struggle every month. Real wealth begins to multiply from the moment you place the standard of spending on net worth rather than salary. Running is the same. If you recklessly use up all your energy like a foolish, immature person who bought a new car, just because your body feels energized in the first 5 minutes of running, you will completely burn out and collapse in the interval after 20 minutes, where leverage is actually required. Meticulously control your stamina and pace just as you control your assets, and march stubbornly toward the 30-minute mark.
장갑 편하지? 얇아서 편해. 미끄럽지도 않고. 이따가 올 땐 다이소 한번 들리지.
4. Leverage. Escape from your physical and temporal limitations. Why must you complete the full 30 minutes? You can reach the transition from the second floor to the third floor simply by working hard all night, saving, and doing a bit of stock investing on the side.
오랜만이네.
However, the vast majority of humans become frustrated and drop out in the interval, moving from the third floor to the fourth floor, the wall dividing 100 million won net worth from 1 billion won net worth. Why? A day is exactly 24 hours for everyone, and you have only one single body. No matter how high your salary is, there is an absolute physical limit to the money you can earn by directly selling your time. Nick Maggielli coldly strikes a nerve. Even if you are an ultra-high income earner receiving an annual salary of 700 million won, and even if you save 300 million won every year just by breathing, it takes over 20 long years to reach the fourth floor of wealth. Therefore, to pierce through the wall above the third floor and change the game, you must use leverage, the power of others, to completely separate your time from your income. Apply the 3 types of leverage mentioned by the author to your running and your life. First, labor leverage. This is borrowing other people's time, hiring employees, forming teams, and growing an organization to create a structure where someone is creating value for you even while you are asleep. Second, capital leverage ***. This is making money make money itself. The moment investment returns, real estate rental income, and dividend portfolios exceed your labor salary, the author throws a thrilling question at us. If your investment assets earn more money than your salary, then isn't your real job actually your side hustle and investing your main job? Third, content leverage ***. This is the greatest ladder given to us by our era. A single piece of text you write or a single video you create travels the world and works on your behalf 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, even while you sleep, eat, or rest, delivering value and generating revenue. In the past, before the internet existed, a massive amount of capital or a large organization like a conglomerate was mandatory to climb up the ladder. However, today, there are monsters who leap straight from the second floor to the fourth or fifth floor with just a single laptop and an idea. The greatest opportunity in human history is currently right before your eyes. In your running, the final 10 minutes, from the 20-minute mark to the 30-minute mark, is precisely this leverage interval. Up until 20 minutes, you are running purely on your raw grit and labor that endures pain. However, the moment you break through 20 minutes, your entire bodily system switches into leverage mode. Your cardiorespiratory function explodes, body fat burns rapidly, and endorphins that erase pain are secreted in your brain, establishing an automated system where the body runs on its own. By stepping down after running for only 20 minutes, you are personally proving your own destiny. To work bone-breaking manual labor for the rest of your life without ever knowing what leverage even is.
내리고
5. The brutal confessions of those who tasted the top and the destroyers of wealth. Do not be under any naive illusions. Climbing to the top of the ladder does not mean life suddenly becomes a comfortable, rose-colored paradise. Jensen Huang, the founder of NVIDIA, the world's top semiconductor company with a market capitalization currently reaching quadrillions of won, spoke in an interview as if vomiting blood. If I had known beforehand how utterly devastating and painful the process of founding and leading a company would be, I would have absolutely never started this company. The world of the 5th and 6th floors of wealth is not the comfort we imagine. As assets grow, trust among family members collapses, and you suffer from extreme misanthropy, unable to distinguish whether a person approaching you likes your true self or is targeting your money. Destroyers of wealth, such as divorce lawsuits, fraud, and betrayal lurk everywhere, constantly waiting for a chance to tear you down. Remember the true story from the 19th century, the story of Alfred Nobel, who invented dynamite and amassed an enormous fortune from all over the world. One day, his brother passed away, but a newspaper accidentally published Alfred Nobel's obituary instead, mistakenly believing that Alfred had died instead of his brother. The headline Nobel confronted while reading his own obituary alive was shockingly, "The Merchant of Death is dead." Upon verifying with his own eyes that the world remembered him as a slaughterer and a merchant of death who killed countless people, he fell into extreme shock and horror. Ultimately, he donated his entire fortune to society to establish the Nobel Foundation. This was because he desperately desired his legacy to be remembered not for destruction, but for the advancement of human science and peace. Nick Maggielli leaves us with a bone-chilling question through this anecdote. When you reach the top of the ladder, the most fundamental question you will face is not how much did I earn throughout my life. It is, what did I leave behind in the world? 6. Money is salt. The 5 real ladders you never knew about. Now let us enter the most core truth of today's story. After a lifetime of studying the ladder of wealth and numbers, Nick Maggielli makes a very unexpected confession. After you have enough money, the impact that money has on life is surprisingly small. To explain this, he uses a brilliant analogy. Money is like salt. If there is no salt, food tastes completely flat and bland. However, can salt itself become a dish? If you only eat spoonfuls of salt, you will die of saltiness. Salt is merely a tool that maximizes and brings out the flavor of ingredients that already exist. Salt itself is not the essence of cooking. Money is exactly the same. For someone who truly loves music, when they get money, it presents them with top-tier earphones or a classical concert ticket held locally in the Alps, amplifying their happiness. For someone who crazily loves mountain climbing, money opens up the eternal snow of the Alps worldwide, rather than just a mountain in the local neighborhood. However, for someone with absolutely no interest in music, a concert ticket worth millions of one is nothing more than a scrap of paper. And for someone who hates hiking, an Alps airline ticket is close to torture.
Wow.
Money only amplifies the value that already exists within you. It cannot create new happiness out of nothing. A person who is already happy becomes much happier when they get money. But a person who is usually unhappy and full of complaints will only turn up the volume of their misery like a loudspeaker by the scale of their assets. Therefore, while climbing the ladder of wealth, we must climb at least 5 other real ladders that exist in the world at the same time. These are the 5 true ladders you must set straight while running for 30 minutes. 1. Social wealth. Relationships according to data from Harvard University and various world-class research institutions. The happiness level of a person who has a truly good friend to share their inner thoughts with is completely identical to the effect of earning an additional annual income of approximately 140 million won. This means the value of a single true friend is equivalent to the annual salary of a conglomerate employee. Are you running lonely, treating everyone around you as tools just to succeed?
아빠 열받으라고 그러는
I deeply respect every single one of you who endured the pain of your breath catching in your throat and stubbornly finished the full 30 minutes today. Countless temptations and the weak voice of compromise, whispering this is enough for today, must have lingered in your ears. Yet, you did not stop your legs, you did not grab the handles, and staring straight ahead, you finished your own race until the very end. You have done an absolutely magnificent job. This 30-minute completion is not just a mere workout. It is a powerful declaration to yourself and a record of victory, proving that you will break through your physical limitations and never kneel before any hardship in life. The sweat you shed today will become the most potent nourishment to pull your mindset, your health, and your life's caliber up to the next floor of the ladder. I express my deepest gratitude and respect for your footsteps, as you love and prove your own life so fiercely and passionately. With this overwhelming sense of accomplishment engraved in your heart, I hope you dominate the rest of your day, and furthermore, every single game you will face in your life. Thank you so much for showing us the absolute best race.
연중 무휴라고 그랬던 걸로 들었는데.
한 10분 아니 한 3분 거리 안에 있어 롯데기스가. 제발.
여기 열었지? 아빠 다 보고 왔어.